Howdy, folks. Let's get into it. Judges chapter 13. Now the sons of Israel again did evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord handed them over to the Philistines for 40 years. And there was a man of Zorah, of the family of the Danites, whose name was Manoah, and his wife was infertile and had not given birth to any children. Then the angel of the Lord appeared to the woman and said to her, Behold, now you are infertile and have not given birth, but you will conceive and give birth to a son. And now be careful not to drink wine or strong drink, nor eat any unclean thing. For behold, you will conceive and give birth to a son. And no razor shall come upon his head, for the boy shall be a Nazarite to God, and shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb, and he will begin to save Israel from the hands of the Philistines. Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, A man of God came to me, and his appearance was like the appearance of the angel of God, very awesome. So I did not ask him where he came from, nor did he tell me his name. But he did say to me, Behold, you shall conceive and give birth to a son. And now you shall not drink wine or strong drink, nor eat any unclean thing, for the boy shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb to the day of his death. Then Manoah pleaded with the Lord and said, Lord, please let the man of God whom you have sent come to us again, so that he may teach us what we are to do for the boy who is to be born. And God listened to the voice of Manoah, and the angel of God came again to the woman as she was sitting in the field. But Manoah, her husband, was not with her. So the woman hurried and ran, and told her husband, Behold, the man who came the other day has appeared to me. So Manoah got up and followed his wife. And when he came to the man, he said to him, Are you the man who spoke to the woman? And he said, I am. Then Manoah said, Now when your words are fulfilled, what shall the boy's way of life and his vocation be? And the angel of the Lord said to Manoah, The woman shall pay attention to all that I said. She shall not eat anything that comes from the vine, nor drink wine or strong drink, nor eat any unclean thing. She shall keep all that I command. Then Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, Please let us detain you, so that we may prepare a young goat for you. But the angel of the Lord said to Manoah, Though you detain me, I will not eat your food. But if you prepare a burnt offering, offer it to the Lord. For Manoah did not know that he was the angel of the Lord. And Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, What is your name? So that when your words are fulfilled, we may honor you. But the angel of the Lord said to him, Why do you ask my name? For it is wonderful. So Manoah took the young goat along with the grain offering and offered it on the rock to the Lord. And he performed wonders while Manoah and his wife looked on. For it came about, when the flame went up from the altar towards heaven, that the angel of the Lord ascended in the flame of the altar. When Manoah and his wife saw this, they fell on their faces to the ground. Now the angel of the Lord did not appear to Manoah or his wife again. Then Manoah knew that he was the angel of the Lord. So Manoah said to his wife, We will certainly die, for we have seen God. But his wife said to him, If the Lord has desired to kill us, he would not have accepted a burnt offering and a grain offering from our hands, nor would he have shown us all these things, nor would he have let us hear things like this at this time. So the woman gave birth to a son and named him Samson. And the child grew up, and the Lord blessed him. And the Spirit of the Lord began to stir in him when he was in Manahadan between Zorah and Eshtal. Samson, a goat for real. It's too bad he had lady troubles. Ruined him. Judges chapter 14. Then Samson went down to Timnah, and he saw a woman in Timnah, one of the daughters of the Philistines. So he came back and told his father and mother, I saw a woman in Timnah, one of the daughters of the Philistines. So now, get her for me as a wife. But his father and his mother said to him, Is there no woman among the daughters of your relatives, or among all our people, that you go to take a wife from the uncircumcised Philistines? Yet Samson said to his father, Get her for me, because she is right for me. However, His father and mother did not know that this was of the Lord, for he was seeking an occasion against the Philistines. And at that time, the Philistines were ruling over Israel. Then Samson went down to Timnah with his father and mother, and came as far as the vineyards of Timnah. And behold, a young lion came roaring toward him, and the Spirit of the Lord rushed upon him, so that he tore it apart as one tears apart a young goat, though he had nothing in his hand. But he did not tell his father or mother what he had done. So he went down and talked to the woman, and she looked pleasingly at Samson. When he returned later to take her, he turned aside to look at the carcass of the lion, and behold, a swarm of bees and honey were in the body of the lion. So he took out the honey on his hands and went on, eating as he went. When he came to his father and mother, he gave some to them, and they ate it. But he did not tell them that he had taken the honey out of the body of the lion. It's an unclean thing. Then his father went down to the woman, and Samson held a feast there, for the young men customarily did this. When they saw him, they brought 30 companions to be with him. Then Samson said to them, "Let me now propose a riddle for you. If you actually tell me the answer within 7 days of the feast and solve it, then I will give you 30 linen wraps and 30 outfits of clothes. But if you are unable to tell me, then you shall give me 30 linen wraps and 30 outfits of clothes." And they said to him, "Propose your riddle so that we may hear it." So he said to them, "Out of the eater came something to eat, and out of the strong came something sweet." That's bars, really. Obviously he's talking about the honey. But they could not tell the answer to the riddle in 3 days. Then it came about on the 4th day that they said to Samson's wife, "Entice your husband, so that he will tell us the riddle, or we will burn you and your father's house with fire." It ain't that deep. It ain't that deep at all. "Have you not invited us to impoverish? Is this not so?" So Samson's wife wept in front of him and said, "You only hate me, and you do not love me. You have proposed a riddle to the sons of my people, and have not told it to me." And he said to her, "Behold, I have not told it to my father or mother, so should I tell you?" However, she wept before him for 7 days while their feast lasted. And on the 7th day he told her, because she pressed him so hard. She then told the riddle to the sons of her people. So the men of the city said to him on the 7th day before the sun went down, "What is sweeter than honey, and what is stronger than a lion?" And he said to them, "If you had not plowed with my heifer, you would not have found out my riddle." Then the Spirit of the Lord rushed upon him, and he went down to Ashkelon and killed 30 men of them, and took what they were wearing and gave the outfits of clothes to those who told the riddle. And his anger burned, and he went up to his father's house, but Samson's wife was given to his companion who had been his friend. He couldn't trust her. He said, "See you never." Should have been loyal. Shouldn't have worried about it. Judges 15. But after a while, in the time of wheat harvest, Samson visited his wife with the young goat, and said, "I will go into my wife in her room." But her father did not let him enter. Her father said, "I really thought that you hated her intensely, so I gave her to your companion. Is her younger sister not more beautiful than she? Please let her be yours instead." Samson then said to him, "This time I will have been blameless regarding the Philistines when I do them harm." And Samson went and caught 300 jackals, and took torches, and turned the jackal's tail to tail, and put one torch in the middle between 2 tails. When he had set fire to the torches, he released the jackals into the standing grain of the Philistines, and set fire to both the bundled heaps and the standing grain, along with the vineyards and olive groves. Then the Philistines said, "Who did this?" And some said, "Samson, the son-in-law of the Timnite, because he took his wife and gave her to his companion." So the Philistines came up and burned her and her father to death with fire. Then Samson said to them, "If this is how you act, I will certainly take revenge on you, and only after that will I stop." So he struck them ruthlessly with a great slaughter, and afterward he went down and lived lived in the cleft of the rock of Etam. Then the Philistines went up and camped in Judah, and spread out in Lehi. So the men of Judah said, Why have you come up against us? And they said, We have come up to bind Samson in order to do to him as he did to us. Then 3,000 men of Judah went down to the cleft of the rock of Etam, and said to Samson, Do you not know that the Philistines are rulers over us? What then is this that you have done to us? And he said to them, Just as they did to me, so I have done to them. Then they said to him, We have come down to bind you, so that we may hand you over to the Philistines. And Samson said to them, Swear to me that you will not kill me. So they said to him, No, but we will bind you tightly and give you into their hands, but we certainly will not kill you. Then they bound him with 2 new ropes and brought him up from the rock. When he came to Lehi, the Philistines shouted as they met him, and the Spirit of the Lord rushed upon him, so that the ropes that were on his arms were like flax that he has burned with fire, and his restraints dropped from his hands. Then he found a fresh jawbone of a donkey. So he reached out with his hand and took it, and killed 1,000 men with it. And Samson said, With the jawbone of a donkey, heaps upon heaps, with the jawbone of a donkey, I have killed 1,000 men. That was the Incredible Hulk out here. When he had finished speaking, he threw the jawbone from his hand, and he named that place Ramath Lehi. Then he became very thirsty, and he called to the Lord and said, You have handed this great victory over to your servant, and now I am to die of thirst and fall into the hands of the uncircumcised. But God split the hollow place that is in Lehi, so that water came out of it. When he drank, his strength returned, and he revived. Therefore he named it En-Hakkore, which is in Lehi to this day. So he judged Israel for 20 years in the days of the Philistines. Samson was straight boss man out here. Could nobody do nothing to him. Just got 1,000 dudes with a jawbone. More later. Thank you.